You clicked on this video, so I'm not gonna waste your time, unlike most people telling the same bullshit everywhere. I'm gonna get right into it. So, I'm Eskilax and I help people grow their businesses and teach things you should have been taught since long in school. So why should you listen to me? Well, in this video I will cover many steps, a full guide to testosterone, so everything in this video will have been tried through trial and error and years of experimentation, so I've tried everything. And so instead of pulling things out of my ass, telling lies, not promising and whatever, so I will tell you the real takeaway. That is a promise. So yeah, a promise is I will tell the real takeaways, and I will definitely improve your testosterone if you follow anything. Every single step in this video will do that, and implementing everything will undoubtedly increase your testosterone and make it go through the roof, like no doubt about that. So cover these 5 steps. So first, what most people do. So the problem is that most people act like the perception of adult. They're sitting down there on the chair, right? People can call them they're low testosterone guys, but what people do is that they sit down in their chairs, right? Let's say in school, they sit down in the chairs. They see kids running around. They're like smiling because it's like, yeah, it's fun, you know. But kids running around is often seen as an adult thing. So most have this norm perception. No, we don't run around, we don't climb trees, we don't do this. It's like, it's cringe, now we're adults, we're this and this and that. That's a very bad norm. So we're never norm breaking, right? We think that it's normal. Yeah, sure, it's normal to be low testosterone and not do anything. Like, it's normal for people to, it's cringe to climb trees, it's cringe to do this. The thing is that people, they would rather not break the norm. They would rather be normal. They would rather act like a low-T. They would rather scroll on TikTok instead of climbing trees because they think climbing trees is weird for adults. Or even teenagers don't even do that anymore. And then many people, not teenagers like most adults and most people, they listen blindly to doctor. Yeah, sure, the doctor has experience. So you can argue, yeah, but he has 10 years of experience. Well, that's fair. Listen to what he says, because maybe he can give you some, or maybe that person can give you some insights and give you some tips. And yeah, they have experience, so no doubt about that. And you know that taking experience from experienced people is a very good strategy. That's what I do, speaking, experience from people speaking and all that. However, many problems comes from not experimenting yourself. Because honestly, the doctor, yeah, sure, he can help you, but he has also been trained for the general mass. Sorry, this is gonna come off as a bit arrogant or whatever, but he ain't specialized for you. Because yeah, sure, you are his patient, but he has been educated, generalized, right? Most doctors are this. Like, I'm not talking shit, but most are. It's not that they are bad themselves, it's that they have been educated very broadly and not specifically to you. That's a big problem. So that's what most people do. They listen blindly, they never experiment, they don't try to break the norms. They're like, no, it's cringe, it's this and that, and they never do anything. And yeah, because they don't want to go outside of the norm, because we are, as humans, still evolutionary. We want to fit in every single social situation. You're in school, you still want to fit in school, no matter how stupid the school is or how many, school is so bad. You will be there, you will be too shy and too proud or whatever to not do anything outside of the norm. So, I remember in the classroom, once, I think it was maybe 3-4 months ago. So, we had these questionnaires, but instead of writing, we had, you gonna speak your piece or whatever. So they had these questions of like, is meat bad for environment? And then everyone went one there, and I went to the other one because I'm a meat eater. So I'm like, no, it's actually not as bad. But there are many of the questions that you're like, oh, you're half sure about. Yeah, but I actually think it's more of no instead of yes. You know what I mean? It's like a scale thingy. And then you still go to where majority of people are because you don't want to be seen alone. Because imagine if everyone, you have this sun goes from, sun, I think of something. Oh yeah, prison should be banned, and then everyone goes to no, it's good, and then you're the only one who goes. This is only an example. Prison is bad. You will not go there because you're the only one who goes there. You know what I mean? But I couldn't think of a better example. But that is a big problem, and that's in social situations especially. And it's very hard to fight evolution. So our second step is, why is high testosterone necessary? Well, you've probably heard a bunch of stuff, but the thing that got me most excited and interested is that high testosterone makes effort feel good. Yeah, you heard it. High testosterone makes disciplined, hard work feel good. You feel amazing doing really hard work, running, working on business, whatever hard work you're doing. It makes that effort feel good, and that's the thing that really stood out to me. And another thing is like testosterone is such an important hormone. It's like gives you the drive to do things. Yeah, it's that momentum, that drive to. Because if you're high testosterone, as an example, you sit down on a chair for the whole day, you will feel like shit because you're like, some action, please, some action, please. It's not because your attention span is shit, because when you find your thing, like for me, if I sit there doing some, I don't know, play a video game for a day or whatever, I'll feel like, some action, please, some action, please. Think that in the head. I want some motion, I want some running, I want something. And most people are like, I'm satisfied with this, but if I sit down an hour of video game, whatever, a day of video game, I'll be like, some action, please. So, literally, you will feel bad doing bad habits, you will feel good doing good habits. So you're like, oh, but it's so hard to do good habits. Well, if you have high testosterone, you will naturally go towards the good habits. Huh? Wow. Interesting, right? Very interesting. And yeah, of course, makes you feel good about yourself. Because if you do good habits will serve your life, not bad habits. So if you feel good doing habits that serve your life is getting better and you like it. So you like it in the short term and the long term. Delayed gratification, it takes a while. But if it takes a while and you like it in the short term, then you like it in the short term and the long term. That's very powerful if you think about it. So yeah, every part of your life gets better. And, well, it's not surprising. Because your dopamine is going up, your whatever you're doing is going up because you're seeking delayed gratification, which is overpowered. That's good. So why is high testosterone necessary? Yeah, it's necessary because you need it. It's like that. It's simple. It's just, as a man, it's like the number one thing. And basic testosterone optimization. Now the guide starts here, right? So what you have heard? You have heard exercise, good sleep, good diet. That's like, yeah, that's how you increase testosterone. So I'm gonna go through them. They recommend like 30 minutes to an hour of exercise per day, and then they say, oh, cardio gives you more health benefits and resistance training and all that. That's what you have heard, right? Right, and then good sleep. You hear about, 7 to 10 hours per night. Teenagers usually, I guess 7 to 9, not 8 to 10, but I would say 8 to 10, and then adult, 7 to 9. And then this is something I added, hit the sack at the same time, because they usually say hit the sack at the same time and wake up at the same time, but it's very difficult to do that. So hit the sack around the same time. And then wake up at the same time, in my opinion, is optional. What most people say, well, it's crucial. I guess, I don't know. Good diet. So they say that junk food is pretty bad, and then they say, yeah, well, you can bulk on whole food, but they do say bulk is good, and then most people say, yeah, organic or whatever is much better than normal. Good, that's what most people say. Basic testosterone optimization, fixing your diet, good sleep, and exercise. There you can do a basic testosterone optimization. Well, if you're never exercising, it will your testosterone will go up as hell. If you eat junk food every day and stop doing that, your testosterone will really go up. If you're sleep deprived and finally get insufficient amount of sleep, then testosterone will definitely go up. So that is true. So if you haven't gotten those 3 down, then I urge you. But if you have clicked on this video, this educational video, I think you have already covered these, or you're as good as possible. Like, you're trying to get good sleep, you're already exercising, don't eat junk food or whatever, so you're already on the path. So let's go on, see if we can do more stuff that most people don't talk about. So for testosterone optimization for real C's. So right now, I want to note that if you want to increase your testosterone further, you will need to prioritize. Like, seriously, you will need to make this video full screen. You will need to artistically focus on this video if you wanna. If you just wanna hear, oh yeah, testosterone hacks today, some dopamine ever. If you actually wanna learn something like real education, then I urge you to listen very carefully because now the real stuff starts. Now the real stuff you need to learn, you need to get through your head. Like, this took me a while to get through my head. But if you wanna go further, then you need to listen. So let's get right into it. A core principle of testosterone that I like, that I've found out in most of my life have actually worked. So, what is that? Now deliberate this question for a little while. What did our ancestors do? And what is natural for us? I'll say it again. What did our ancestors do? And what is natural for us? Deliberate that question for a little while. You can write it down. You can think about it for a while. You can pause the video and think. But this is a really important core principle. And honestly, it's weird because it's worked in everything thus far. Everything. And I have no spelling mistakes. I mean, what is natural for us and what did our ancestors do? Not what is natural, what did our ancestors do, what did our ancestors do, and what is natural for the ancestors, for us specifically. So let's go on. 5.1. Things that disrupt our testosterone production and leveraging. So, well, If you go to the core principle, what did our ancestors do and what is natural for us, our ancestors and us? I don't think junk food has existed since our ancestors. It hasn't. It's something new. And the thing is that the further we go from what is natural for us, the further we go from our ancestors, which had big teeths, 4-5-digit testosterone. They didn't have junk food, so no wonder it's gonna lower your testosterone. And lower your testosterone makes all your life harder. Your energy, your power to work, your power to do anything, your manlyhood is getting stolen because you eat shit. Because that little, oh, that was tasty, mouth pleasure. I don't think it's worth it. You can deliberate yourself, you can do whatever you want, but I don't think a little mouth pleasure is worth your manhood. It's not, that's your life. And honestly, I don't even care about that food. I haven't even got a single craving. Like, it's not even tasty, bro. Like, if you eat a real steak, then you know what I'm talking about. You don't even need junk food, man. It's just disgusting, man. Give them money and whatever shit. So yeah, level 0. So what you definitely should avoid is eat what your ancestors have never eaten before. And that is whatever fits your fancy in the modern day. So that's junk food, that's potatoes without the shell. Like, they didn't eat that shit. And that's like, they didn't eat potatoes basically at all. Because it didn't exist back then. Because to tell you something, most of our crops didn't exist back then. Oh, but wheat existed in the Stone Age. Like, maybe not, I'm not 100% sure, but I can tell you right now that Neanderthals and our early Homo sapien, when we had her biggest testosterone ever, didn't eat that. And you're like, oh, but that's 30,000 years ago. The same species cannot have a different optimal diet. If the same species, if Homo sapiens had 5-digit testosterone, It's the same species. Oh, but mutation, it doesn't take 20, 30 years, 20,000, 30 years. It takes millions of years. It could take 100,000 of years. But our Homo sapiens, our evolution of our own self, is going very quickly. Because Neanderthals to Homo sapiens wasn't that it was actually the quickest evolution ever, because Homo erectus was a long while, and Neanderthal is quite a long while than sapien. So it went quicker and quicker, but impossible for it to be 20,000 to 30,000 years. It's at least 100,000, if not 200,000-300,000. It takes a long time. So I have biology, evolutionary with me, not only studies. I've got evolutionary explanation, biological explanations. I've got a lot here. So yeah, but most people are like, but eating is a pleasure of life. Well, you can increase your testosterone, or you can eat something that you think back, oh, it's so tasty, but when you're eating it every day, you're like, yeah, that's normal. You can create a new normal, or you can create a abnormal, very powerful, high testosterone self. You can choose. You eat pasta, grains, you eat junk food. You have these things. Pasta, grains, junk food, whatever. You want to eat this? You want to have high testosterone. You choose right now. And I said earlier that if you want to increase, you need to prioritize it. You cannot be, pasta is fine, junk food is fine. No, it's not. If you want to get that testosterone increase, which I said. And honestly, most of these grains, it's insane. I will go in depth later, but those things have fucked my sleep, man. Fucked my sleep. It's horrifying. And I have to eat enough, right? So bulking, right? And then you hear most people, you're strength training, right? They say bulking. And then you're like, but I need to eat, I need to bulk. And the thing that I'm like, those damn fitness YouTubers, many of those, you know what they say. They say calories in and calories out. Seriously, they believe that. They preach that. So they preach you eating 3,000 calories of donuts is the same as 3,000 calories of meat and vegetables. Like, first, you eat for nutrition. If you eat for pleasure, then you're already behind. You're not even participating in the race of testosterone and manhood. You're not a man if you think that. It's true though. 3,000 calories. It's nutrition. Like, if you eat 3,000 calories, you're fat and you have no nutrients. 3,000 of meat, you're powerful, you don't gain weight. You literally get more muscle by bulking on only meat. At least you don't even need to bulk. You get more muscle by only eating a little meat and bulking on some random thing. Because the thing is, if you bulk on donuts, then you have 80% fat and 20% muscle, perhaps, depending on how much protein you eat. Oh, protein guys. The only protein source is meat, anyways. It's so laughable, honestly. So that's level 0. You eat whatever shit fits your fancy and whatever cravings cravings. It's my brain. I need to trust my brain, and my brain is telling me I need to eat donuts. I eat donuts. What do I do, bro? Level 1. Now you have a bit of more intelligence. So you eliminate the poisons we have created. Perhaps you still eat natural occurring poisons, but you have eliminated seed oils. Oh, that's kind of natural, but you have that's processed actually. You eliminated seed oils. You eliminated your donuts, your sugar bread, your protein bar, your shit. So now you eliminate like the foods we are creating. Because if you see our protein bar, but protein bar is still good. It's like 15 grams of sugar. It's like the same as Coca-Cola. That's not natural, bro. Sugar is natural occurring. I'm not gonna BS, because fruit, yeah, sure have, but not at the same extent as, like, because yeah, fruit has sugar, but we have they're not the same as before. Like, if you have a fruit 50 years ago and now, we didn't have red apples, bro. Like, we have made specific apples because apples are good for us, and we loaded them with sugar so everyone would eat apples. Well, now they're not good anymore, and honestly, they weren't really good back then either. So they're not that good. So that's a good level 1. You eliminated poisons we have created. So now you eliminated most of the single ingredients food, and if you eliminate them all, then good first step, good progressive overload. And I'm gonna tell you harsh truth right there. Why we want single ingredients is because most ingredients aren't written down on the ingredients list and index, but if it says specifically one ingredient, and you know what it is, cabbage, only cabbage, no 1% of pesticide, no 1% of some processed garbage or whatever, potato, some other shit like that. So they're like chemicals. Because people, they want cheap stuff, so that's what they give them. They give them chemical compound to bring down the cost as much as possible. If you eat that shit, and it hasn't been banned, like, yeah, most things have been banned, most really dangerous things, but a dangerous thing that still hasn't been banned is like soy, for example. That's fucking dangerous if you eat that shit and has been banned. It's insane. But they're literally colorings, you know, you paint stuff, you like food coloring, like they're like something number 7, number 4, it's like real dangerous food colorings that have existed that has been banned now, but not in every country, of course. But you can get food coloring, you can get pesticide, you can get weird chemicals you don't even know about if you eat more than one ingredient, because it won't. If you have a food just like 3 ingredients, that's 5% potatoes, 70% sausage, 10% some other things, then there's still like 10% left or 5% left. Or even if it's less than 1%, there are some dangerous compounds like chemicals that less than 1%, right? But even a promille, like even a 0.25% is dangerous. It's insane. So at level 1 we eat food that is real food and has been natural cultivated. Level 2, eliminating all natural poisons in our diet as well. All natural. So now we only eat single ingredients, and we only eat food that we're evolutionarily supposed to eat. Biologically supposed to eat. What I'm about to say next is not gonna be very fun, because you will realize all the lies you have heard. If you can trust me, then I will give you the truth here, because these things, they exist, but people say dose makes the poison every time you try to argue about this. Every time you say, but there's poisons in this, right? And they're like, it's dose makes the poison. It's gonna sound weird, like, should I say it? Yeah. Like, honestly, it's not a lie, but it's a bit excessive, but let me say it anyways. To really get you to understand. Are vegetables still good for you? Vegetables need to be still good for you, right? Like, vegetables need to be still good for you. I don't eat vegetables. I don't preach eating vegetables. Plants are trying to kill you. Oh shit, that's fun. I quoted that from one of my favorite doctors, right? This is not untrue. No, this is true, honestly, because if you think about a plant, what do a plant do? Plants try to defend themselves. They do. They can't move. They don't have legs. They don't have rockets in their ass. They can't move. So what do? They're stuck. They have evolutionary biologically they have evolved to having these poisons to protect themselves, right? And many of these plants, if you have an animal in the wild, and if that plant, or if that animal eat a plant, it needs to be a very specific plant. Like, you have zoos right there. You see a zoo in front of you. Or whatever. You feed them what they're supposed to eat, right? Yeah, they're healthy, right? They're freaking jacked and they don't even move around. Oh, but they move around a lot. They're animals, they don't even move around, they're still jacked as fuck. They're not fat, they don't have diabetes, they don't have heart disease. You feed them some human food or you feed them some other crappy food. Weeks later, you see them having diabetes, insulin resistance, pre-tumor, pre-cancer, carcinogenic food. They have the same diseases we have. And if you feed a cat and dog, even if you eat, I only eat single ingredient food, I eat no processed food, because everyone can agree that processed food will definitely be bad for us and every single animal in the wild. If it only takes single ingredient food, for example, you give them broccoli, you give them this and this and that, because that's healthy, right? Oh wow, we give them fruit, you feed them that, they get sick. And if you do that for a long period of time, like cats are carnivores and dogs are, people like to call them omnivores, but they are carnivores. You know why? Because sure, everyone can eat plants, even I can eat plants. I can eat plants, but it doesn't mean it's optimal for me, because I can eat plants, but then I can get poisoned or whatever. So sure, every animal can eat it, but they have instincts of, I'm not eating that because I am not supposed to eat that. Think back of our ancestors. What did they do? Have you ever seen a cave painting of a salad? I sure haven't, and I don't think anyone have ever seen that if you not write it yourself. But what we have seen is the bison, the deer, the mammoth, the saber tiger, the big animals. And then we see guys with spears, with boats. And yeah, later on, like Bronze Age and Iron Age and whatever. Yeah, sure, maybe we see wheat. So even then, in the Bronze and Iron Age or whatever, we had meat and wheat. And if they were really poor, only wheat. But when our ancestors were 5-digit testosterone, when our brain was at its peak, because the brain for the first time ever. Actually, do you want to hear something? It's a bit dystopic, but I said I'm gonna tell you the absolute truth. That's a promise, and I promise you to increase your testosterone. You're like, but how does this help me increase testosterone? This is important to know, because if you write this down, and you will be able to take decisions yourself, make decisions yourself. Although perhaps you want to research it a bit, but most studies are trash, man. Like, I'm saying this because I have followed this advice and all these studies, and they have led me astray. They have, yeah, sure, there's a little health benefits. A broccoli is a bit healthy. It's a bit, compared to what? The first time our brain decreased, our teeth decreased, first time our neuroplasticity, whatever, our brain size got down, was when we went from Neanderthals to Homo sapiens. What? Wait, doesn't that mean it's... Wait, then you can't make the argument that we this and this and that. Neanderthals was... Like, I think Neanderthals was, in a way, evolved to sapiens. Because we have a Neanderthals blood in our veins. Everyone has it. Some people even look like it. As a side note, but we have Neanderthals blood in us, especially here in the north and whatever. So even if we didn't evolve, they evolved into us. We do know that we had offsprings with them. Perhaps there was a big, huge brain Neanderthals. He he got kids. He, the sapien female or whatever, he banged her, and then we have Neanderthals blood in our veins. Because he was powerful. He was 5-6 digit testosterone. His brain was the biggest we have ever seen. He hunted down 10, 12, 30 mammoths in his life. He has the gold medal. He is the alpha male. What do you think he ate? It was many ice ages. What do you think they ate? Plants didn't even look like it did now. They looked like roots. They looked like poisonous. They looked like, literally, those plants, if a fly got close, they like meat-eating plants. Oh, Garden of Eden! Plants are killing animals and other plants. You need to get this through your head. This world is a kill or be killed. Like, honestly, it is. You wanna be the one doing the killing or the one being killed. You wanna be in the top of the food chain, then you're the killer. It's either you're dying, you're a pathetic beta male, or you're the alpha male who sits at the top. Life is a race even now, whether you like it or not. People like to say, it's fine the way you are, but you feel like shit, and your primal, your blood of your ancestors is running through your blood. Plants have so many poisons. There isn't a single plant that has less than 60 carcinogens. Carcinogens is literally cancer liquid promotion. You know, it's actually what can lead to cancer. 60 poisons, pesticides. They have done studies on plants. They've had 10,000 natural occurring pesticides. Oh, you go out in the wild, you see a mushroom. Chances are it's gonna be poisonous. Oh, but I picked the normal plants. If 95% of the mushroom will kill you instantly, how 5% will not kill you as fast? Right? You can't just argue that 90% will kill us, but the other 5% is totally healthy. 95% will kill you, 5% will be healthy. Healthy? Huh? How can you make that argument? That's more vague than me, because I'm using biology and evolution. I'm using cave paintings. Absolute truth. And we're seeing dead bodies like haven't degraded. Very, you know how this works. You have destruent, what is it called in English? Yeah, I'm Swedish, so it's difficult for me sometimes because I don't want words everywhere. But deconstructors or whatever, you see them when they don't have enough oxygen, they cannot break down body and bone and calcium, whatever stuff. So we have seen this. We have seen big ass teeth. We have seen 5 like this, like their teeth are better than our teeth. Even 1,000 years, like that thing have been in the ground for more than 100,000 of years. It still has healthier teeth than us. Of course the ancestors are laughing at us. We're alive and they've been dead for 100,000 of years. They're sitting there. Pathetic. And honestly, I would do the same. If you're in a video game and you have been dead for 100,000 years, you're still number 1 on the leaderboard. They suck, man. Like, of course they suck. And that's us. You think they're justified looking down on us, and I don't like that. Oh my gosh, sorry for the little rant and whatever, but I really need to ingrain this into your brain. So, getting on to the actual, what are we biologically supposed to eat? You hunt down the saber-tooth, you hunt down the mammoth, you hunt down all this stuff. Meat, fat, plus salt. When we were in our peak, Neanderthalis, what did we eat, do you think? Mammoth, saber tiger. Specifically the fat. We have seen this. We do best when we eat high fat. So we eat high fat, we eat ribeyes, we eat all this. And then we give the roast beef, the sirloin or whatever, not as fatty, to the dogs. Because if you think about it, dogs, They are literally wolves. We cultivated dogs. We needed them. We need the dogs. What do you think we gave the dogs? Because if we haven't done it a mammoth, what we did we do? The bits that we couldn't eat, we didn't want to get the protein poison. Honestly, I don't know if it's true or not, but I think it's not as bad as most people think, because it's still meat. We ate the fatty ribeyes. We gave the sirloin. Of course, it's not called that in a month, but everyone knows about this. Sirloin, roast beef. We ate the ribeye, we ate the ribeye, and Chuck they ate the sirloin, the lean parts, leaf beef, minute steak, whatever. We gave the dogs the lean, because we have seen these dogs do best on low fat, but they still need fat, of course. But lean steaks, they do best on lean steaks. And honestly, cats, we have seen this. They've done studies on this. Raw beef has been better than cooked beef. So, and I think for dogs, I think because they are carnivores, so they can eat raw beef, because they have this acidity in their stomach. Because we see this in animals, they have like 1.6 to 3 acidic stomach. Then we know that they can break down the raw beef, right? So you give them the dogs. You give them raw beef. You hunt on the mammoth. You give them so much nutrients in that raw red beef, so they can last for 7 days. So, like, have you heard about this army? There was one army I read about. I don't remember the name now, unfortunately. But they ate horses, right? They ate horse meat. They had a big army, like as big as Alexander the Big One, like a really big army on the whole Europe, Russia, all that huge army. They had horses, right? They ate horse meat, like 10 pounds of horse meat, the whole army. And then they went for 5 days. And then they drank the blood of the horses and all that. So they got the nutrients from the blood and the horse meat. And that was the biggest army I've ever seen without agriculture. And our ancestors certainly didn't do agriculture, and we don't know, because they were like Neanderthal's brain is more than 30% bigger than us, and that is without any modern invention. So that is 30% bigger with maximum dopamine. They didn't have this technology, they didn't have this stuff. They were trying to survive every day. Like, their brain was 30% bigger, smarter, and they used their brain to the full extent. That's why, you go in the gym, you use your muscle to maximum extent, it gets bigger. They used their brain to maximum extent, so their brains got bigger. And they were 30% bigger, and they got bigger, and they went to the max, they pushed on the edge all the time. We know of masculinity, be on the edge, be this and this. They were always there, every day, they were living it. Of course, they were peak sapien, and Neanderthals, they were peak humans. And we didn't have any grain-fed. It didn't exist. If you think back, our ancestors, what is natural for them? Grain-fed is not natural for them, because grains are not natural for our ancestors. So ideally grass-fed, organic, meat, fat, salt. Himalaya salt, which has all the minerals, because normal table salt is artificial. It's not ancestral appropriate. Yeah, you have the sodium. Yeah, you have none of the minerals. Wow, we need the minerals as well. We need magnesium, potassium, all that stuff. So we have good salt. Like, yeah, we had the sea salt, but nowadays it's microplastic full because of us. But a lot of salts, so Himalaya salt is best, in my opinion, now in the modern world. When I eat Himalaya salt, real Himalaya salt, beef tallow, organic beef tallow is best, and steak. Ruminant animals. Huge ruminant animals. It's sheep, bison, cow, whatever. Cow is best. Still, for some reason, I don't know why. It's weird. We've done studies on this, and it's still the best. People like to demonize it as much as possible. Say cows are actually the worst for the climate. They're not even like. It's weird that all the bird stuff is what we should do. They say cows is so bad, but it's the thing we need to eat the most. So cow, So ribeye steak, shuck steak. You need high fat. We humans are supposed to eat high fat. And if you have heard about the carnivore diet, then you hear the big doctors talking about you need enough fat, because we humans are biologically supposed to eat high fat meat. So eat ribeye, shuck steak, and if you're eating lean, then add a lot. Yeah, sure, you can still eat it, but it's more nutrient dense with high fat. So shuck ribeye with a bunch of you can eat butter if you want, but I do tallow because I don't know, it's like 100% fat, because butter is like 82%. It's like this and this and that. It's not actually, milk protein has some carbohydrates in it, and I'm zero carb, zero sugar. It has some sugar, some carbohydrates, and all the sugars are sugar. You can but fruits are natural sugar, so it's still sugar. So that's why it's zero carb, zero sugar, 100% fat. Like, this is the highest testosterone diet. You will get higher testosterone eating beef tallow than butter. No doubt about that. Oh, eggs, and yeah, sure, whatever. But if you eat grass-fed ribeye steak with grass-fed beef tallow, and then you eat all the mineral salt, your testosterone will go through the roof. Like, I get like 3 morning woods. Like, my morning wood is big. Like, whew. You don't understand, bro. Like, it's like double the amount it was when I ate like keto. I ate a bit of vegetables, eggs. Now I eat only red meat with lots of fat, and oof, it gets big, man. And if I eat organic, it's even bigger, because organic beef, organic meat, or whatever, has been 5 times the omega-3 fatty acid, more of the saturated fats and less of the poly and mono unsaturated fats, which we don't like, which people preach for some reason. So literally people think grain fed is healthier than grass fed. It's not, because you get more of the pure saturated fats, non-toxic, pure, grass fed pure. So you get more of, and actually we have seen this grass fed. And we know that red meat is the most nutrient-dense food. We have seen that, like, vitamin D, vitamin A has been doubled in this meat. Because if you think about it, grain-fed, they don't have... Yeah, sure, maybe they're outside eating grass, but only for like a quarter of the year. Grass-fed is out every time besides the winter, but then they're still not fed crap. They're still not fed grains. So that's the difference. And you, if you have eaten it, there's a big difference between grass and grain-fed. Some people like grass-fed and grain-fed or whatever. Some people like grain-fed more. And I'm like, I like grass-fed more. And I don't care about the taste, honestly. Because if I cared about the taste, then I would eat McDonald's 10 times a day. But actually, it's not. It's tastier. Like, in my opinion, grass-fed is tastier. It's like a thing. People like grass-fed more. Some people, some don't. Or whatever. Even if I didn't like it more, I would still eat it. Because I get more nutrients and all this stuff. So... that's why I do it. So, eating what your blood is supposed to eat. Meat, fat, salt, ideally grass-fed. Eliminate everything else. Everything else. Because, what about vitamins? What about... meat is the most bioavailable nutrients we have. Because, yeah, sure, we don't... Maybe spinach has more iron. But it doesn't mean we can get it. Because... unfortunately, if I could eat vegetables, if it was good, I would eat vegetables. I'm not I hate them vegetables because of this. I hate them because it's not good for us to eat. But yeah, sure, I would rather eat a carrot or whatever. Like, sure, a steak is always good, but I would feel better because I have been ingrained and all that stuff. You need vegetables. 30% of your plate needs to be vegetables. So I would feel less anxious if I just had a beef, I don't know, broccoli, a carrot. But carrot and fruits is what I miss the most. But no, we're disciplined. We're trying to increase testosterone here. We don't care about slight mouth pleasures. And most of my pleasure goes from educating you right now. So eliminate everything else. And of course, processed food should not be eaten. Because did your 5-digit testosterone hunting down the mammoth, did he eat chicken nuggets? Can you find KFC chicken nugget in the cave? You cannot. You can't even find it on the cave painting. It's not something that existed back then. Bread and pasta. Well, bread have existed longer. You find bread, that's the first time our brains decreased, and it decreased very quickly, rapidly from there. So we are half the man of our ancestors, both testosterone and our brain. Our brain says half of that ancestors. We're pathetic, man, compared to them. What's another problem? Because I am on step testosterone optimization. So there, what did the ancestors do and what is natural for us? Let's go into another problem. Not only our diet, now we have gone into a bigger problem. BPA. Perhaps you've heard of that. But you have heard of plastics and microplastics. Plastics don't break down. After hundreds of years, it takes a long time. And eventually they become microplastic, but they're still plastic. They don't disappear, because if they did, then, oh well, maybe our water system, maybe our our fish and all that stuff would have been regenerated. Maybe much of our water contamination would have been gone. Maybe much of our problems would have been gone. But this is the number one problem. Of course, there are other toxins, environmental toxins, we're breathing in through the air and all that stuff. But this is one big problem, and you need to know about it. BPA, bisphenol A. This is a compound chemical in plastic especially. And maybe you have heard about BPA free on some bottles. You're like, why does it say BPA free? It's because it's bisphenol A free. Okay, let's go through a horrible fish study to really get you to realize that I'm not joking here. I think it was coral or zebrafish. I don't really remember, but there was one fish species, right? You have an aquarium, you have water. You put the fish down there. And now, those fish, the first generation of fish, you put BPA contamination in the water. And then they get a second generation, but then you put all the first generation put into a clean water, whatever. You from the bad water to a clean water, and then maybe you empty it and take normal water, because it's like a study, an experiment. Honestly, very depressing, the result we got. So one generation BPA exposure, yes, and then they got normal water again. And then they got kids, right? Already in the second generation, they got their offspring, the BPA fish. Their kids were not even half the fish their parents were. And their parents had been contaminated. Even when they got their kids, they got back to normal water. Their kids had deformed genitals. Not very much, a bit of a difference, you can see it. Half of them were infertile. And then it actually became a third generation. They had kids, right? 80-90% of the third generation had big deformations. They didn't even have a dick anymore. Barely, bro. Eighty to 90% of the third generation were infertile. And that's when the experiment ended. There would be a fourth generation of 2 fish. And then they would die out on the fourth generation. That's the last generations. Now it's all done. 4 generations, and now they're dead. They're dead. In 20 to 30 years, like 4 generations, is that 20 years, 10 years? I don't know how long fish live, but let's say for humans, 150 years. The end of man is within 200-300 years of BPA. The government acted on this. They acted on this. That's why you see BPA free. It was bad enough for them to get into their radar, for them to notice the problem. They haven't banned it, but they made these BPA free things because people were complaining about this. Because if you knew that your kid would be like infertile, of course you would complain. The story is not done right there. There's another thing I need to confess right now. People were aware of the issues of BPA. So same about palm oil. No, we don't know. We don't want to be a part of this. We don't know. We need to fix this right now. That stopped. That revolution, we need revolution to change things. For some reason, it's we need, they say, our revolution is not good, revolution is not good. Sure, it's not good, but it's necessary. Because if we aren't on their door, bing, bing, fix this right now, they won't do shit about it. Because something I will confess right now will be horrifying for you to hear about. BPA free is worse. The majority of BPA free, or all, I would say all, is replaced. BPA is replaced. What do you think is replaced with? I don't think it's wood, iron, tree as our ancestors used. I don't think so. We're going further and further away from what is natural for us. The problem is that these new chemicals, BPS, BPF, BPH, they have not been studied at the same extent as BPA. That means there's a high likelihood, and we've seen this high likelihood that it's even worse than BPA. We literally need a revolution at their door. Huss! Huss! I don't know if they themselves know this. But they replaced BPA. Sure they did, because there was so much talk about it. I'm afraid, honestly, because revolution can even make it worse, because if we say we don't want BPS, BPF, BPH, perhaps they'll come up with something else. I'm afraid, bro. I am afraid. So what I would do instead of, BPA free is safe, you know what I would do? I would think back, core principle, what did our ancestors do and what is natural for us? Plastic is not natural for us. We see every animal in the wild taking so much damage, microplastic destroying our sea and our lands and our drinking water and all shit. Think back. What did our ancestors do? Is BPA free? It's safe, bro. False sense of security. Eliminate plastic as much as possible. And I will talk about some implementation you can make later in this video. This is a full guide. I'm not talking BS. I'm giving you all that I can. Level 0. Things we use and touch. You're in the kitchen, you have the turner, it's plastic. You have your Teflon pan because it's healthy, fat is dangerous. Teflon pan, plastic. And you heat plastic up, it gets worse. You have your plastic lunch bag, you put it in a microwave, gets worse. You have your polyester gym clothes, it gets worse when you're sweating and heating it up. You care about the price. I'm gonna save money, The only thing, honestly, the only thing I would spend my money on is education and health. Education and health. That's the two things that is important to spend money on. If you spend more money on your diet, but it's better, then it's your health over health. Worth it as hell. Because if you can live 20 years longer, that's worth whatever shit you save. Whatever dollar per pound, whatever shit. You feel better. and you're ultimately 20 years old. You eat this all meat. Meat is so expensive. Well, you feel very good in the short term, and in the long term, you will be better. Better. You invest in your health. You do exercise every day. 1 hour of my life. But you live years longer, and you feel amazing now, in the short term, right now. But level 0 of the BPAs, you buy the cheapest container, you microwave your food in plastic, you Teflon pan, you plastic seed oil thing, canola oil, oxidized carcinogenic oil. You're using but plastic, it's cheap, and it's durable. It will always do the job, and it's comfortable because we have always done this. Because it's cheap, so we're used to this, and it's durable, and this and this and that. If you're still gonna be, it's cheap, I'm gonna do it because it's cheap, it's because it's easy, it's durable. I said previously that if you are serious, then you need to listen, right? I think it was back here. You need to prioritize it. You cannot have this limiting beliefs because you still think it's easy. You still think it's this and this and that. Is it worth it? Is that little durable BPA bag, this plastic bag when I go shop, is it worth it? I don't think so. Is the receipt worth it? No. They have all this BPA. You have parabens. You have phthalates. You have other dangerous chemicals on that shit. And you're only caring about the insides. You buy meat and you're like, plastic surrounding it. I don't care. It's like, yeah, it's fine. And you know about BPA, I don't need to tell you more about it. You literally get infertile, your testosterone is... your testosterone goes lower because you're half in your sperm count. You're literally half in your testosterone count. And your free testosterone. Like there are dangerous studies like that you can't even produce testosterone because you have these inhibitors. This BPA blocks testosterone conversion production. It's like dangerous, man. So level 1, you go a step above. You replace all plastic tools and containers. So all tools I use, like my mouth is still plastic, I can't find a wooden one. But when I'm in the kitchen, I have this turner in wood. My pan is like a cast iron, a real pan. And then I eat my tallow, which is in wax paper or whatever. Of course, my meat is still in plastic, because that's the only thing I have left. But I've done as much as I can, personally. I drink metal water bottles. I do all that stuff, like replace all the plastic things. I have a metal lunchbox as well. Cutting board. Yeah, I also have a wooden cutting board. And then I never heat BPA because I know that heating plastic, any BPA, even BPS, BPH, even heating BPA free, that's like potentially more dangerous. So I never do that. Because that's hundreds of percent worse. That's not, it's double worse. No, it's hundreds of percent. It's like 10, 20, 30 times worse. It's like you heat plastic, warm water on plastic, whatever, that's dangerous or whatever. That's why they never always say use cold water on cleaning plants, whatever, because if you make that BPA 100% worse. Oh shit, man. That's horrible, because you heat it, you heat steak or whatever. And then you heat it. It's been in plastic, it's touched plastic, and then you put it in a pan. Like plastic meat. Like meat in the plastic. Then you heat the pan and it's plastic and But eating heated BPA meat is better than eating vegetables, even then. Much better. And then level 2, you eliminate as much plastic exposure as possible. That is literally me. But I have some things left. Like I've still got a plastic mouse and keyboard. I've still got a, meat in plastic. Toilet is still in plastic. I don't put my ass there often anyways. But, and then perhaps a water filter or whatever. It's extremely expensive, but that's a thing you can do, which I haven't done myself. That's why I don't talk much about it, but water is a big problem. I will talk later about that in this video. But a thing I did was I wear 100% natural material. Like this shirt is 100% cotton. And then yeah, you know what I mean. Like oh yeah, my glasses are still glass. That's another thing I can do as well. But 100% natural material, 100% cotton, wool. You know, natural material, because these polyester, nylon, or whatever that says in every clothes. If you can't read the ingredients, or if it's some weird name, if it's not cotton, wool, or silk, or whatever, natural materials, now I would avoid it. So I do literally 100% cotton. Even then I go to the gym, because if I use these 100% polyester gym clothes, or maybe 40% cotton, 6% polyester, like all these football shirts and all those shirts, it's plastic. And even if you don't heat it, even if it's just on your skin, like touching your skin, because your clothes are touching your skin, no shit there are. And if it's plastic, then yeah, you get these dangerous compounds in your body. And if you're sweating, it spreads even more. It gets 20-30% worse. You're sweating in polyester clothes. You're soaking into stuff, because when you're sweating, you're ridding these estrogens, but you're getting estrogen back to the body, so it's like a never-ending loop. You're sweating, you're getting rid of these toxins, you're not getting rid of them all, but you're getting rid of a little bit of toxins, but then you get all them back by wearing this polyester shirt. So yeah, level 2 is you wear 100% cotton wool or whatever, and then you eliminate as much exposure as possible to any BPA, any BPS, no plastics, all plastics. And then you buy food in wax paper, your meat comes in wax paper. You replace keyboard and mouse with 100% metal and wood. Like that's seriously max level, bro. So another problem outside of BPA is fragrances and hygiene products. Oof. There is literally phthalates and other dangerous compounds, parabens and all these. They have different names, but there are a lot of these in especially perfume and hygiene products, and many in deodorants, in soaps, and all that stuff. So that's a real big problem. Like sunscreen as well. So level 0 can be you buy the cheapest sunscreen. The sunscreen with natural ingredients. Like literally, sunscreen is a scam, because you put it on your body, right? When light touches your skin, the estrogen in that, because it's literally estrogenic. That sunscreen is estrogenic. Light exposes to it. It gets even worse. It's like you put on this polyester clothing. You get estrogen in your whole bloodstream, on your skin, and it seeps through the skin into your blood. Estrogens, you're getting birth hormones in your body. Literally. Same with toothpaste, fluoride, all this. That's dangerous for the brain, but it's good your teeth's better. It's dangerous for the brain. And there's so many, like even natural toothpaste, bro. Like, of course you need to brush the teeth, but there's some dangers in natural toothpaste as well, because these are plant toxins. We're not supposed to. Maybe we can breed certain plants, but we are definitely not supposed to get them in, because you will automatically, you will naturally get a bit of the toothpaste in, even though you spit everything out, because you will still get a bit of in, and that's plant toxins right there. And it's liquid form. Every plant is dangerous. You know this, you're total carnivore. All plants has 60 carcinogens. Imagine you're getting 60 carcinogens, even though you go natural toothpaste. It's still dangerous. Oh my gosh. Even the product itself is dangerous. You need 100% beef tallow toothpaste or whatever shit. Hair wax. Many ingredients that are not good, even though you go natural. There are natural poisons, like it's possible, but if you know the brand specifically and you know exactly what they use, then I think hair wax is fine in that way. Toothpaste is definitely the worst, because you will get it in your body right there, because sure, it can still seep through your head and skin, but if you have a good quality hair wax, I think that would be fine. But you never use sunscreen. You don't even need it, because there are plants called photosensitivity. Like, I will make a guide of all the plant toxins But there is something called photosensitivity in, like, especially limes and ginger. No, flour. Flour, you know. Yeah, flour. I think it's called flour. Um, and flour and what did I say? Flour and all that stuff. Yeah, photosensitive lime and flour or whatever. Um, no, ginger. No, I don't know what it's called. But that, at least, there's some. You see people with limes. You've probably heard about this. People touch limes and they get like second-degree burns, like big burns on their hands when they pick them. Like, when you pick them down, they're releasing the poisons because you're attacking them, and then just touching them. Like, they don't want you there. They didn't say, "Oh my, I'm alive and I want someone to eat me." Definitely, some fruits are like that, but nah, man. Even though it's safe plant, it's lime, it's it's broccoli, it's no vegetables are safe because they all have some natural defense mechanism because they can't move, and evolution is millions of years old. So, oh, but we have made these plants are made by human invention. Well, they're also full of sugar and shit like that, and you cannot get rid of plant toxins totally because they will have all these adaptations even though you do as much as possible. And if you touch them, then you will make worse things because your unnatural things makes it worse. So level 0 is buying the cheapest everything and don't even care about it, and then make a habit of applying stuff even if you don't need it. Because sure, yeah, deodorant, of course you need to do that, but deodorant has actually been shown to, you sweat less, you get rid of less toxins, and putting on your skin can be toxic itself, so you rid of less toxins, you get toxins. So if I'm going out, of course I need deodorant because I don't smell like a fucking monkey or whatever shit, but why would I put dangerous things on my body without reason? So that could be a problem, right? Level 1. That's buying products that don't have the worst toxins. So that's like buying 100% natural, one ingredient thingy. Much better. Buy natural ingredients. Naturals and maybe natural perfume, because you still need perfumes, then buy as natural fragrance and perfume as you can. That's much better. But of course they're natural fragrances, that's because they're natural plants. They're plants that are natural. That's still gonna kill you pretty easily. Like hemlock, you could die. You die. It's like as worse as some frogs in the rainforest. Like, they kill you instantly. Some mushroom kill you instantly. Like some of these secondary burns, they're like, it's dangerous, man. Natural can also be dangerous, but they are better than our damn products. It has been shown to literally destroy brain cells, our things. So now, level 2, only use natural perfumes when absolutely necessary. You go on a date, you go on a wedding or some important thing, you're gonna meet a lot of people, then perhaps you use perfume when absolutely necessary. When you're out with your boys and running around, high testosterone guys, you don't need it, bro. You're just gonna smell like shit anyways, because you're gonna run miles. Because you're high testosterone, man. So don't apply things that 100% sure of what, if you're not 100% sure of what it is, and don't even use soap every day. Literally don't even shower every day. Perhaps do a cold shower, whatever, but don't even use soap every day. Like, there's studies on this. I don't know if it's true, but it would not surprise me that you put on these photosensitives. Like, you have a soap, lime soap, citron soap. You put it on the skin. We notice that photosensitive gives us second-degree burns like limes. It doesn't surprise me if putting that things on your skin is gonna block vitamin D absorption and increase estrogen absorption, because estrogens exist naturally. They're foods, plants with estrogens, so you get them on your skin. When rays of the sun comes in, of course something's gonna whack your system. It's not healthy to get estrogen in our body. So perhaps don't even use soap every day. You want that vitamin D? Get out. Don't eat things that makes you burn, because if you're a carnivore, it is much more difficult for you to get burned, because you don't eat zero lime, ginger, all these things that are photosensitives that I talk about, flour and all that stuff. And another big problem we have is pollution in our air and water. Now I get into the dangerous water stuff, Um, Level 0. Living in cities and in second or third world countries. There are people, 5 ways to make money online. There are guys like that who think, oh, and I'm rich, now I move to Dubai. Well, it's a third world country. You're in these countries. The air. Most of the countries, I'm going to tell you something. Most of the countries have something in common. They burn their trash because they don't know what the hell to put the stuff. Stuff we have created. Just stuff in general. You go there, they burn it every single day. You've been there, you have literally black things in your stuffy nose, black things in your nose. Carcinogenic, estrogenic, for sure. So going in the city, being in the city, even being on the countryside near further second world countries have these damn pollutions everywhere. You breathe them in and you cannot, even though you have nose, like you're a nose sprayer, you still get all the black things in your nose and in your body. Like it doesn't matter where you breathe, you still get the toxins in your body. And then level 0 is also drinking tap water from the city. It's like, ugh, disgusting. They even have worse tap water than we do in first world countries. My nose stuffy now as well. It's getting warm in here, man. So level 1 is a step above, living outside of the city, seeing nature. Nature, less toxins. You're out of the city. You're out of the worst toxins. Worst pollution is not in the nature. Even though you're in a second or third world country, that's a level 1, a step up. And that perhaps is drinking local water better than glass bottled water from the local source or whatever. Much better than drinking from the city or whatever, drinking there, because they have not the same insurances as we do. They have full of BPA and pollutions and bisphenols and parapranes and full of phthalates and all that dangerous stuff there. Level 2, living in a first world country. I literally live in Sweden, right? First world country. In the countryside, half countryside, like a mile from the city, but we're still outside of the city. We have a forest and the sea. Very, very, very unfortunate. I'm not gonna lie, unfortunate. It's really good. So level 2 could be live outside of the city, right? In a first world country, and then drink the absolute best water, reverse osmosis water filter. Yeah, this is the best. I've researched this. This gets rid of most of the birth hormone, most of the BPA and the dangerous stuff. Reverse osmosis gets rid of 97%. It's the best we have currently. It's the best water filtration system. So drinking and cooking, all this with reverse osmosis water filter is the best water. So this is an investment. I'm living in a first world country, so the tap water in first world country will be much better than second and third, but there's still a lot of shit in it. So reverse osmosis is so much better. That's level 2. That's the ultimate level. That's something you should strive towards, and I will as well. So now we've covered 5.1, things that disrupt the testosterone production and leveraging. 2, things that will directly decrease your total testosterone count. Sperm and testosterone has a strong correlation. So like it or not, sperm and testosterone has a very strong correlation. Meaning that literally, you decrease your sperm, you will decrease your testosterone. That we know. You increase testosterone, you would like to increase your sperm count. Or in the other way as well, you increase your sperm, you increase your testosterone. So meaning, if you're more fertile, then your testosterone will go up. If your testosterone goes down, then your sperm will be lower as well. So a lot of people talk about testosterone. Testosterone, you have things that inhibit our testosterone. We have things, if a thing makes you infertile, it also decreases testosterone. So that's why I read about testosterone books, but where I got most of this knowledge from were the fertility books. And I know that sperm has a strong correlation with testosterone. So all the things that disturb sperm that makes you infertile, all this stuff, also decrease testosterone. And that's why I come from BPA. It makes you infertile, decreases sperm count, then it decreases testosterone as well. So a very big problem first here is heating and radiation of sperm. Alright, cooking sperm. So sperm in our body, let's say our body temperature is 37. Our sperm, our balls, is outside of the body. It's not inside, it's not an organ, it's outside. We have seen this. Sperm needs to be 2 to 3 degrees Celsius cooler. So sperm is 34, 35 instead of 37, 38. You know what I mean? Decreasing, or rather heating your sperm in any way, because it's like 33, 34, 45, it's been evolutionary that way. Like, why do you think sperm is outside of your body? If like it's bad, it can be dangerous, it can be, your sperm is outside of the body, it's not as safe. Why do you think we have it's still evolutionary? Evolutionary, sperm needs to be like 2 to 3 degrees colder, right? So it's really important, because if it ain't, then it dies. Sperm cells dies if it's as warm as the rest of the body. That's why we have it outside of our body, because it's weird, right? Why would we have it there otherwise? Like, no reason at all. That's just unpractical. Like, why? Because we cannot survive with it in our body. It needs to be outside. It needs to be cooler than the rest of the body, or else sperm dies, sperm cells dies, and testosterone dies. So you heat the balls in any way, it dies. Radiation, you have these signals, this thing 5G, you put them in your pocket besides your sperm. You decrease the sperm count by the heat of the phone. Even though it's off, it still radiates heat and signals and all that. Even if you have airplane mode, it still does. It's not weird that the two most biggest factors that we lack today is total sperm count and sperm quality. Your quality of your sperm, when you're cooking it, radiating it, of course it's not gonna be good. You have radiation, you have phone, ding, 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 in your pocket. Of course that's gonna not give you best quality sperm. So quality of sperm and heating of sperm, decreasing total count, is a big problem. And that is testosterone as well. So at least you get more testosterone but not having your phone in your pocket. Wow. And people, it's so easy. You can have it in your hand, you can put it in a bag. It's ideal in the bag, as studies have shown that even holding it will decrease dopamine, and you will easily go on it because you're addicted to it. And then just holding it will decrease sperm and testosterone. So literally putting it in your bag is ideal. You're like, this extreme, but it's easy. Just put it in your bag when you're in school. You're still having the bag, put it in the bag. Because if you put it in the pocket, that's the worst thing, is that it will destroy your sperm and testosterone in turn. Another problem is cooking sperm. You wake up, I guarantee, you go to, at least you go to the shower, unlike some Billy video gamer who doesn't even shower, man. But you go to the shower, right? I guarantee that you put it on warm because it feels good. It's like cold shower. Oh my god, that's difficult. That's bad. You don't even think. I guarantee you put under hot water when you get into the shower. What you're doing here is you're literally cooking the sperm. Boiling. And it's sensitive as hell. If it gets, it needs to be 34, 35. If it gets even 36, 37, 38, if it gets the same as body temperature, it will decrease. You're boiling it. It's so sensitive that even 2, 3 degrees can make it die. And you cook it. Boil it. No wonder when you go to your doctor, whatever, you're like, oh, I'm infertile, what protocol should I follow? No wonder they say don't take a hot shower, hot bath in this 4 week when you're trying to be fertile. And I was like, they even recommend that. Then we know that decreased sperm and making sperm quality bad and, disrupting sperm will decrease the testosterone. That means that hot showers and hot baths will decrease our testosterone. Wow! So I'm like, screw that. Screw hot showers. I do lukewarm or cold. Cold gives you that dopamine rush that, like, cooling of balls, so potentially increase of testosterone because you don't want to heat it up. You cool it up, and that could be good. But it really gives you that dopamine and adrenaline kick and cortisol peak early in the morning with time or sleep time, and all the cold shower is very powerful. But cooking sperm, hot shower, even lukewarm shower for a long time. That's why I do like a bit cold and lukewarm in the beginning, and then I go to the coldest to not have this effect. An action was up right now. That's very insane, but you can't do it. Like, I am artistically optimizing this. I'm even standing up now, and there's a reason why I stand up in this video. I will tell you, one of the reasons is because I'm better at recording. I can get into the flow better now when I'm standing up, and so I don't get tired and sleeping, whatever. But there's another reason I will tell later in the video. But as an action grab right now, the best way to cool your balls right now, yeah, sure, it could be a cold shower, it could be a not taking warm shower next time. Yeah, sure, you can implement that if you really want, and I definitely recommend it. But a thing you can do right now, literally throw your underwear. I'm not kidding, bro. Like, actually, you want less heat on your balls, so throw out the underwear. Like, it's true, but there are literally athletes that have this underwear with ice packs in because they want to cool down and all that, but it's insane. What happened with the camera? So literally a action was that you can throw down your underwear. I don't even wear underwear right now. I'm crazy, but I'm increasing my testosterone, so I don't care what people think, honestly. And radiate sperm, we talk about this. Phone in pocket, but so as action step right now, if you have a laptop, you have the computer case, right, which you have the laptop in. You probably have a laptop case, whatever. Put your computer above the laptop case if you're in bed, so you don't have the laptop directly on your midsection and where your balls are. Even if it's touching your skin, like we said, phone can decrease testosterone even though it's not in your pocket, even holding it literally. And of course you need to hold your phone and hold your computer when you're working. Of course you need to tap on the keyboard or whatever, but a thing you can do to negate much of this effect is just having the computer case, laptop case, your laptop on that case. So that's an action step you can do right now. If you're watching this on a laptop, then do that. If you're watching this in bed, do that. Posture, effect on sperm. So now we'll go into one of the reasons why I'm standing up right now. Because I'm implementing these stuff, bro. So if posture has an effect on sperm, if standing up and seating has an effect on sperm, if having your legs close together or manspreading has effect on sperm, how long should you sit? I can't tell you this how long you should sit, because if you're working right now, you're sitting there, you're watching this video right now, but if you're in the morning, let's say you wake up at 6 and work to noon, whatever, you work 6 hours, like really disciplined business entrepreneurial work, you sit down, of course, you sit down, you get into the flow state, well, that's good, but when you're not in the flow, when you're, let's say you take a break, then just stand up. You know this, you've heard about this blood circulation, all this stuff. But we have seen this, we've seen a lot of studies on this. I have read about this a lot. Like, this video, I don't know how long it is right now, it's like 1 hour and 20 minutes. Like, you don't understand how much research I've done on this. But literally standing up has this blood circulation thingy, very good. But glucose, glucose balance, whatever. Or insulin is literally balancing out even more when you walk. Like, it's like this psychological effect, like exercise we stand up, but it's more this psychological benefit, like we stand up, like it's crazy, because I implemented this because I wanted more testosterone, because we've seen this, that sitting down a lot makes our thighs bigger or whatever, like just sitting down, and then the bigger they get, the closer they get to the balls, and the warmer it gets, because if your thigh is touching your balls, then it gets warmer, right? So sitting, you don't want to sit crossed leg like this. Yeah, sure, you have this boss lady sit like this, but you shouldn't. You know what you should sit? You should sit wide. Can I show you this? Let's see if I can show you. I don't know if I can. How do I show you? Okay, let's do it with hands instead. Your hands are here. You're sitting this crossed leg, you know what I mean, with legs crossed. Man spreading. Wide legs. You should man spread. So how to sit if you're a man with testicles and you don't want to decrease your testosterone? Man spread. It's so weird. People are like, I'm man spreading. Doesn't matter. Like, if how you sit has an effect. Like, sure, we know this, we shouldn't sit too much, but how you sit when you're actually sitting. How should anyone talk shit about you? Oh, he's manspreading. Like, I get this weird, like, they don't have a reason. They just say it's weird. Why you take so much space? Like, they don't even have a good argument for it. But I have a decreased testosterone and sperm. So why would I sit like a lady? A man with high testosterone. I'm sitting like this. Wide legs. Higher testosterone, you feel more powerful, you take more space in the room, it's perfect, it's like a man. You're more like a man if you sit man spreading. Nice. So, as an expert right now, make space, be the biggest guy in the room, take the biggest space. I don't care what anyone says, sit like a man. Because this, you can get respect from this, because they see your high testosterone, you're like this, you have in your brain like, yeah, I have high testosterone. I need high testosterone. Like, I'm on a testosterone maximization protocol, because if you're like me, you're artistically focused on this. Like, to your diet, you're like, oh, should I go grass-fed tallow, grass-fed butter? Like, you're really freaking artistically focusing on increasing testosterone, because you've watched for 1.5 hours of testosterone, so you will do everything you can in your power. if you have gotten this far. So, man spread. And don't sit for too long. But you should never go up if you're in the middle of a flow state, because the flow state is the most fulfilling work for you. Because if you're in a deep work flow state, if I sit down 6 hours and script a video, then I will not go up because, oh yeah, I need to go up, No, you just go up when you're done. Like, you get your script and you're like, oh, that felt nice. You go up, move around a little bit. You don't even need to run outside. Just move a little bit, and then you will feel more energetic. Less of this brain thing, foggy thing. You will feel better. No fab ejaculation. Okay. The thing is, it takes like 3-4 months to sperm to fully refill, meaning that if you fap every week, then you won't have your maximum capacity of sperm, and not having maximum capacity of sperm is not having maximum capacity of testosterone. But unlike these no-fap YouTubers on day 99, just think to yourself, well, yeah, that makes sense, because you're ejaculating sperm, right? And more sperm in your body is more testosterone, so it makes sense. But I'm not gonna go deeper into this, because you have already struggled with this for years. Perhaps you have. You're too good for it or whatever. But just because you haven't mentioned it. Okay. 3. How to get rid of toxins in your body. So there's literally 3 things to get rid of toxins in your body. We know this. You have heard about sweating. Sweating releases estrogen. Sweating, breathing. Literally, if you have no exposure for 3 to 4 months, you will breathe it out eventually. But if you have no exposure for 3 to 4 months, and then you sweat and all that, you can make the process quicker. And if you sweat all the time, you get rid of estrogens all the time and not have as much in your body at all times, right? So if you still touch plastic but you're sweating a lot, then you're getting some of the benefits. You're getting less of the dangers. Of course, you're still exposing to them. So the most effective is no exposure plus sweating, but sweating with exposure is better than not sweating with exposure, right? So the best thing you can actually do to get rid of your toxins, absolutely, put an ice pack on your balls, be on the sauna, and sweat like a fucking idiot, and then have no exposure at plastic at all. So ice pack, 0 plastic exposure, and then sleeping well, changing covers every week or whatever. Because when you're sleeping, you're recovering, you're detoxifying. So you're detoxifying some of these toxins when you sleep as well, and most of them are when you sleep. So if you have these damn products in your bed, change it up. So change the covers, sweat a lot, and have no plastic exposure, BPA exposure, dangerous exposure. Live in the countryside, filtered water, no plastic, with good sleep, changing covers, and not have the covers be estrogenic as well, and then sweat with ice pack in the sun if you really need to quick it up. But sweating can be just working out like an idiot, running or whatever in the summer. That's good. So that's the ways how you can get rid of toxins in your body. So what are things that will directly increase your testosterone? These are the things that makes your testosterone production go kaboom, not as intended, work as intended, and these destroy your total testosterone count by heating your sperm and radiation and all that stuff. So what thing will actually increase testosterone? So this is a very controversial topic, but it's true, because saturated fats, you hear about LDL cholesterol, HDL cholesterol. Both cholesterol are important for our body. They exist for a reason. But balance is key. Balance does not work, guys. Balance is not key. It's a lie. It's a myth. It's a debunked. It's stupid. If you need balance, you're doing something wrong. You're a cow. You only eat half of the clovers, half of the grass. No, the cow doesn't decide one day to eat clovers. He does not. He eats the same thing every day. Every day. Priority, balanced diet. Do you have an animal? There are animals eating one thing, many do, and those who aren't are eating like the same thing. Those aren't eating the same animals are eating a gazelle or a bison. A lion, and it's like 2-3 animals. They're not eating a different, a little bit of vegetables, a bit of little this, a bit of little. No, they're not. You need to get it through your head. And we know this. Saturated fats are important for every animal. Like that's what I'm saying. Fat is the most important thing, because all animals eat at least 60 to 70% of their total calorie count of saturated fats. Every animal. Oh, but gorillas only eat plant-based. They only eat fiber. Yeah, they have bacteria in the gut that converts it to saturated fats. Sorry, that's how it is. So, our humans, we see that our cholesterol is going up. That's why we shouldn't eat red meat. That's why we shouldn't eat that. That's exactly the reason why we need to do that, because cholesterol is good. It's not bad. It's you see people with high cholesterol and they died by high cholesterol. They're 90 years old. Oh, look, they have so high cholesterol. Yeah, they got to 90 because they had high cholesterol. If you had low cholesterol, you will die at 60. Oh, but he had high cholesterol. That's why he died at 60. But he had lower than the one that died at 90. Like, you need to think. Cholesterol is... Our brain is made 80% of cholesterol. It's the optimal fuel. Because if we don't eat a lot of shit, then our body will naturally go on ketones, run on ketones. It's a fasting state. No, it's our primal metabolic state. That's what it is. So if we don't eat excess sugar, eat shit that makes our insulin go up like crazy, because high insulin has also been shown to block conversion between estrogen and testosterone goes to estrogen. Like, our hormonal balances, or her hormonal unbalance is a big component of eating shit that is toxic and increasing our insulin like crazy. Like, we're not supposed to eat it. So cholesterol in our body is the thing. So you have, don't eat high cholesterol. Yeah, if you eat low cholesterol, then you will have less testosterone and more cortisol. Wow, cortisol is bad for sleep. Well, if you eat low cholesterol, then you will have high cortisol. Oh, but I'm eating high carbohydrates and that's good for my sleep. Well, you're still not in metabolic state, because we know this. High glucose or high fat is the best, because that's our fuel. But if we go on high glucose, then we're not in a primal metabolic state, so you need fat. And what fat does is that it increases cholesterol. It increases this important energy source in our body. Most important. In fact, it's the absolute most saturated fat, cholesterol. Every animal has high cholesterol if they're healthy, right? The only animals that has low cholesterol is us. That's because it's dangerous, supposedly dangerous. It's like, it's still a myth from 60s, and it's still fucking everyone's life, because you follow these guidelines. It doesn't help you. Yeah, sure, I'm not gonna go shit, oh, they suck. Yeah, they have experience, but it doesn't. Yeah, sure, they can study the wrong thing, because intelligence is very vague. Like, honestly, I would argue that intelligence is not a thing. It's about exposure and education. Because yeah, you have high intelligence if you every day, like our ancestors, every day try to survive. Of course, they will have high intelligence. They will predict things. They have experience. They're smart in our eyes. Education is intelligence. So if you have low cortisol, eating healthy, like eating meat-based diet, then your cortisol would be very low. And if you eat high fat, because people have gone carnivore and they, but I wake up 3 a.m. Well, they're not eating enough fat, because the fat is what we need. We need the meat, sure, but the fat is the most important. We need at least 80% of our calories from fat. So if we eat a bit of butter and we eat ground beef, whatever, we're getting like 40% max. We need 80, 90, we need a lot of fat. So we literally need to have our diet. 80-90% of cholesterol needs to be our diet. So lower your cholesterol, that's like 80% of my diet. Talk shit about. But you say that was bad, but when I incorporated 80% cholesterol, my testosterone went through the roof, and my health went through the roof, because I am an athlete. I know this. I can feel when my health is going up. But placebo is only a 30% increase. Like, you can think that red meat is dangerous for you. You eat it anyways. Even though you have placebo that red meat is bad, it will still help your life. Carnivore diet is more powerful than placebo effect. That's what it is. It's insane. Because I literally thought that eating carbs in the evening was healthy for me. So I had placebo working with me. But then when I eliminated, even though placebo was against, no, this is bad, this is not. Like, I literally didn't even think it was good. I didn't even think carnivore was good, but I tried it and I felt better, even though placebo was working against me. And now placebo is working with me, so now it's getting even better. But sleeping well is important because your body is when you sleep is when you create testosterone and sperm. So if you sleep well and eat a lot of cholesterol, you will sleep better and all that stuff. And getting sunlight, of course. So a lot of cholesterol and sleeping well with that cholesterol, and then getting a lot of sunlight. More vitamin D, and vitamin D is like a hormone, so increase in vitamin D is an increase in testosterone, very much so. And exercise by itself increases testosterone. And literally moving around, not sitting around, increases testosterone. Well, it doesn't, it's like more like sitting decreases, but you know what I mean, just exercise. So literally go hour of exercise, get an hour of sunlight, get a lot of cholesterol, and sleep well. That's like how you increase testosterone the most. And of course, having none of the hormone disruptors, BPA, and all dangerous compounds. But naturally, if you have 100% natural in your ancestor day, you have no plastic, no, you eat right, then you just need to eat more cholesterol, get more vitamin D, and exercise yourself. Because what your ancestors do, none of our toxins, modern toxins, exercise, hunting, getting sunlight the whole day, sleeping well, because they slept well as hell. Because when the sun went down, it was dark, you didn't have any light, so you slept really well, and it was cold, and they seeked high fat meat, so high cholesterol. So that's optimizing testosterone. So our 5-step how I increase my testosterone. Well, I fix my sleep, and I will make a sleep guide on this channel very soon. But I optimized my sleep. I got an hour of exercise per day with cardio and resistance training both, and then I eliminate as much BPA as possible. I went high fat carnivore instead of low fat, and not carnivore at all. I tried to keep my balls cold, don't even wear underwear, cold shower, no fucking laptop or phone near my balls. I get 30 minutes to 1 hour of sunlight per day. I take vitamin D supplements, I actually do. That's because I took a blood test, and the only thing that was low was my vitamin D. And I bet you're eating wrong. No, I'm eating perfect. It's like vitamin D. It's like... I don't know, it's like Scandinavia thing, you don't even get vitamin D, so that's the only thing I take, and I try to have a high quality vitamin D supplements, but that's the only supplement I take on carnivore, the only because I have I don't even think I need it like in long term, but I need right now because my vitamin D level has been so shit. Like they're 20, you recommend 50 is recommended, I have 20, and 50 is recommended, and recommended range is for like average of fucking pizza, whatever. So I would, if I want high ancestral levels, I want more than 100, I only have 20 or whatever. So I'm very low in that, so I take that. And then I would say avoid any unnecessary hygiene products. If you need to use them, it need to be natural. But even then, don't even use them every day. Don't make it a habit of it. So when I sit down, I'm always man-spread. I don't try to cross my legs or whatever. And when I take breaks, I stand up. I take a walk. I record while standing to get more hours standing up than sitting down. Because I will soon sit down and work again, script or whatever. But when I record, I stand up. Nice. More time of standing up. I became a nasal breather. I breathe properly. Breathing is very important. Like it has mouth breathing, change your structure. Don't get as much oxygen in our body. It's like we need water, we need air, we need food. So become a nasal breather will have some effect, of course. And then I incorporate daily cold showers. I don't fap. It's not my identity. I'm an alpha, not a beta. I don't need to fap. I'm an alpha, right? That's my identity. I'm an alpha. I don't need to. I'm a beta fapping. I am alpha. 6 step by step what you can do. So wake up. You could take a cold shower, put on shoes, walk in the sun without any skirt. If you don't have any skirt, you get more. Like this, it's not dangerous. It's healthy to get sunlight. It's vitamin D. It's getting it in your eyes. It's like you're waking up. It's telling your body you're waking up. Circadian rhythm, science stuff. So get sunlight without any skirt. And then drink filtered water with electrolyte Himalaya salt. And Himalaya salt has probably all the minerals you need. And then drink filtered water with Himalaya salt, and then do your work or school or whatever. So, and then during your day, limit plastic exposure as much as possible. Get 30 minutes to an hour exercise per day. When eating, eat carnivore with lots of beef tallow or butter, like lots of cholesterol fat, lots of saturated fats, and animal based is definitely best. and I would say it's the only thing, because eating plant-based saturated fats, coconut oil, whatever, is not good at all. Beef tallow is best, and butter is second. Why not lard or whatever? Like, fat from cows is the healthiest, so beef tallow is number one, the healthiest, and then butter number two. But I have problems with butter, so I eat beef tallow only. So I buy like partially raised beef tallow from local farm, whatever. It's amazing. It's actually cheaper than the one in store, and it's healthier and it's tastier, so I do it. And then take walks and just stand up time to time where you aren't in a flow. So when I'm recording right now, I'm standing up, but when I'm sitting down writing and it goes really well, and then when my flow, I'm out of that, when I'm not in the zone, when out of the flow, I walk a bit, blood circulation, all that stuff. So, congratulations, you actually made it to the end of the video. You're now equipped with the tools and practices in order to increase your testosterone. I am sure you at least learned one thing from this video. Perhaps you've already read and went on a testosterone maximization protocol, but I hope you learned something new. So I covered everything I could possibly find, and put it in this video. And well, best of luck in increasing your testosterone. So as always, best regard, Eskil Axen. Take some action, get to work.